Now we shall start with the third session, that is circuit diagram. If you want to represent a complete circuitry in a sheet of paper, you cannot represent all the devices or appliances that are used in the circuit in a sheet of paper. It is very difficult. So we try to represent the devices used in a circuitry using some symbols. And if you draw a circuit using these symbols, it is said to be a circuit diagram. That is, it is a schematic diagram in which the different components of a circuit are represented by symbols. Here you can see that there are different symbols being used for different devices that are used in a circuit. These are some of the components and their corresponding symbols that are mentioned in your text. The electric cell has got a longer line and a smaller line, parallel lines. The longer one represents positive terminal and the shorter one negative terminal. If you take a combination of these cells, you call it as a battery. This symbol is used to represent an open switch or a plug key. Open switch means the off position in a circuit, and this is the on position of a circuit. A wire that is joined is represented using this symbol, whereas a wire that is not joined with the another wire is represented with this symbol. Bulb is represented in this way, as well as here you can see the lamp or bulb is represented in this way. Also the switch also you can see that they are represented in here as this, as the closed switch, and this is the open switch, whereas in the other page you would have seen that it is represented as these switches or plug keys. This is the resistance. What is it? We will come to it later. This is a resistance and this is a variable resistor or a rheostat. And we have already learned that current is measured using a meter. To represent an ammeter, we have to represent it in this way with an A written inside a circle. Similarly, the potential difference is measured using a voltmeter. You can see that a small circuit, simple circuit diagram shown here, where you can see on the left side the battery, switch and bulb connected using connecting wires, and the same represented as the circuit diagram with symbols. So the scientist Ohm found the relation between the current I flowing in a metallic wire and the potential difference across its terminals. According to him, the potential difference V across the ends of a metallic wire in an electric circuit is directly proportional to the current flowing through it, provided its temperature remains the same. So the condition here is the temperature should be the same. At that time, the potential difference and the current will be directly proportional to one another. So that experiment which we spoke about, it is represented, the circuit is represented in this way, wherein you are connecting one cell, then 2, then 3, then 4 cells to the circuit, and every time you are calculating what is the ammeter reading and resistance also, and then you are noting down the values here and you find out what is V by I. This is one of the experiments that you do in your lab and has to be recorded in your practical record also. So whatever we spoke till now, the mathematical representation of the Ohm's law says that V is proportional to I. That is, the potential difference is directly proportional to the current flowing through the circuit. And if we want to remove the proportionality symbol, we need to introduce a constant. Here we are introducing the constant R. So V by I becomes R. That is, I, if you bring it to the left hand side, you can write it as V by I, and it is the proportionality symbol. While removing it, you get a constant R. So it becomes V by I is equal to R, and V is equal to IR. When you rearrange the previous equation, you get V is equal to IR. Using this, you need to do a lot of problems for your exam. So a simple method to learn this formula as well as their rearrangement, you can put it in the form of a triangle, where if you want to find the voltage, it will be equal to I into R. If you want to find the current, it is V by R, and to calculate the resistance, it is again V by I. According to the scientist Ohms, he found the relation between the potential difference and the current in a circuit. For that, he connected a cell to a circuit and noted down the ammeter reading. Later, he connected one more cell to the circuit and again found what would be the ammeter reading. He repeated the experiment with another cell and then another one cell. Every time he found what was the ammeter reading and noted down in a tabular column. From his findings, he found that the potential difference and current were directly proportional. That is, as the potential difference increased, that is, as the number of cells we connected in the circuit increased, the current also increased accordingly. And every time, the potential difference divided by the current remained a constant value. You can see here also, when we have 4 cells, the current is 12 milliamp, and you will see that the resistance is 500 ohm. As you reduce the number of cells also, you will find that the resistance 500 ohm remains the same, whereas the potential difference and the current change relatively to each other. So with whatever we have noted down in our tabular column, we make a graph with current in the x-axis and potential difference in the y-axis, and you will find that a graph of straight line you will be drawn. If you get a straight line, you say that the graph is said to be ohmic, O-H-M-I-C, ohmic. And if you are not getting a straight line graph, you call it as a non-ohmic graph. Now, we know that potential difference is directly proportional to the current. And sometime before I have told that if current passes through a circuit for some time, the wires become hot. Now, that is because of the resistance that the wire is producing here. So we shall see now what are the factors on which the resistance of this conducting wire depend. For this, again there is an experiment. In this circuit, we are using a cell, an ammeter, a key, and in the circuit we have a free end in which we are connecting different kind of materials. First we are connecting a 1 meter nichrome wire. Second time we are connecting a 2 meter nichrome wire. And then third time we are connecting a nichrome wire of 1 meter but with higher thickness. And then the fourth time we are connecting these ends using a 1 meter copper wire. From this we draw a lot of conclusions. That is, we find that the resistance R increases when the length of the wire is doubled or when the length of the wire is increased. Also, we find that if we are using a thicker wire instead of a thin wire, the resistance reduces. And if we are using a different material of wire, that is, first we used nichrome and then a copper wire, and every time we use a different kind of wire, we get different kind of a reading. From this, we draw our conclusions, or we observe that the ammeter reading decreases to 1/2 when the length of the wire is double. The ammeter reading is increased when thicker wire of same material and of the same length is used in the circuit. A change in ammeter reading is observed when a wire of different material of same length and same area of cross section is used. And to conclude on this, we can say that the resistance of a conductor, it depends on the length of the wire, area of cross section, the nature of the material, and on temperature. According to the exam point of view, this is a very important part. You can get a question as to on what factors does resistance of a conductor depend. Now, we are finding out the mathematical conclusions on what we told till now. We are saying that the resistance of the wire is directly proportional to the length. That is, if you are increasing the length, the resistance is increased. So, R is directly proportional to L. Similarly, if the area of cross section increases, the resistance decreases. That is, R is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. Now, if we are combining these two equations, you get R is proportional to L by A. Similarly, as we told in the Ohm's law, if we want to remove this proportionality symbol, we need to introduce a constant. And here we are introducing a constant which is called as the rho, RHO, rho. It is the constant of proportionality and it is also called as electrical resistivity. Its unit is ohm meter. Now, how you get ohm meter is if you rearrange R, rho, L by A such that rho becomes equal to this L by A moves to the left side, so you will get RA by L. And if you write the unit of each of these, that is resistance ohm, and area meter square, length meter, and you simplify it, you will get rho will be actually ohm meter. Now we shall see how the relation between rho, L, A and the resistance depend using the simulation, where the length, if you increase the length, you can see that the resistance of the wire increases. Okay, as you decrease the length of the wire, the resistance decreases. Similarly, if area of cross section is increasing, the resistance decreases. Similarly, if area becomes smaller, the resistance keeps on increasing. So you can see that the resistance is inversely proportional to the area and resistance is directly proportional to the length, and resistivity remains a constant value. As you increase the length, the area, the resistance changes accordingly, keeping the resistivity constant. And this resistivity actually depends on the material that we are using. All the different materials have different resistivity value. In your text also, you have got a tabular column wherein you have the resistivity value of different materials. That is just for your reference. If you want, you can remember one or two values from that. You need not by heart all the values. Now, as I told you, the resistivity of different materials is there in your textbook. You can remember one or two from this. You need not remember all. That is mostly in your problems, the resistivity value will be given. And here it is mentioned that at 20 degrees Celsius, it is actually in the question you will be given at 20 degrees Celsius, or they will be mentioning at room temperature. Even then also we can use the same value, because room temperature is taken to be around 20 degrees Celsius. So we need to note a few things from what we have learned here in this. The metals and alloys have very low resistivity in the range 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter to 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. And those materials that have low resistivity are said to be good conductors of electricity. Insulators like rubber and glass have resistivity of the order of 10 raised to 12 to 10 raised to 17 ohm meter. And as I told you, at constant temperature we were telling till this. So now if the temperature changes, the resistance and resistivity of the material also change. That means the resistance and resistivity of the material vary with temperature. The resistivity of an alloy is generally higher than that of its constituent metals. Alloys do not oxidize or burn readily at high temperature. For this reason, they are commonly used in electrical heating devices like electric iron, toasters, etc. And tungsten is used most exclusively for filaments of electric bulbs, because it offers high resistivity and glows very soon. Whereas copper and aluminium are generally used for electrical transmission lines. That is, they are used for wiring purpose. We can use this formula R equal to rho L by A in our problems also. We shall see the examples relating to those formulae. What will be the resistivity of a metal wire of 2 meter length and 0.6 millimeter in diameter if resistance of the wire is 50 ohm. Here you have resistance 50 ohm and the length as 2 meter, diameter is given as 0.6 millimeter. So if diameter is given, we need the value of area, and the area is pi r square, but r is the radius and we are given with the diameter. So we need to convert the diameter to a radius value, that is 0.6 divided by 2, which is 0.3 millimeter, or 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter. Actually, if you want to convert millimeter to meter, you need to multiply by 10 raised to minus 3. So you will get 0.3 into 10 raised to minus 3, and if you want to remove the decimal, it becomes 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter. Now we need to find out the resistivity. So the rearrangement of the formula R equal to rho L by A becomes rho equal to RA by L. And the area we need to calculate, that is pi r square. So pi is 3.14 into r, 3 into 10 raised to minus 4 the whole square, and it calculates to 2.826 into 10 raised to negative 9 meter square. Substituting all these values, we get rho is equal to 50 ohm, that is the resistance R, area divided by the length. Length is given as 2 meter. You get the calculated value as 7.065 into 10 raised to negative 8 ohm meter. I hope you would have understood this problem and the topics that was explained till now. A few more examples are there which I shall share in the group. Thank you.